right, in this exercise, we are going to take a look at that transaction journal report. Now, the exercise is going to be over here on the right-hand side. This is what we're going to follow along with. And this is pulled from our basic level ProAdvisor certification course. If you would like more information about that course, go ahead and click on the link below after we go through the exercise. Let's see what our scenario will be for today. Craig installed a small amount of sod for Travis Waldron and asks you to send him an invoice. There were 10 pieces of sod at $100 each, and it took Craig 2 hours to install it. After creating the invoice, let's take a look and let's see how this looks in the transaction journal. To do this exercise, you need to be in the sample company. Now, if you're not sure how to get into the sample company or get your own free QBOA account, be sure to click on the link below in the description. I have the sample company pulled up here on the left-hand side of my screen. This specifically is the dashboard. So let's get started with the exercise. We're going to click on the plus new button and then select invoice. That plus new button is over here on the top left-hand corner of the screen. Click on that and then under customers, select invoice. Now, when it pulls up, we're going to go ahead and fill it out. In the customer field, we're going to select Travis Waldron. So go ahead and click into that. You can click on the down arrow and scroll down, or you can type his name in the box so it shows up. Go ahead and select his name. You will, as a note here, you will leave the invoice date and term fields as is. That is right here. In a real life scenario, you would need to, if you needed to adjust the date to when the invoice is being sent out, or the terms, you can go ahead and do it in either one of those fields. Now this was for sod, so in the first line under product service, we're going to select sod. Click into that 2 times. You can scroll or you can type in sod so that it shows up for you. Go ahead and click on that. In the quantity field, remember that this was for 10 pieces of sod, so the quantity needs to be changed to 10, and the rate that he charged for that Craig charged for this was $100. So in that rate field, go ahead and type in 100. You can click out of that box or hit a tab over, and when you do, you will see that QBO has made the calculation for us. Now remember also that Craig had done some installation work. He did 2 hours of it, so we need to include that here on the invoice. On that second line in the product service field, click into it 2 times. Once again, you can scroll down until you find installation or start typing it in the box so it shows up here. Leave the description field as is. The quantity needs to be changed to 2. You can hit the tab key over and then you will see that the balance has been adjusted once again by QBO. So let's just click on the black save button down here. Once you do, that is going to save the invoice for us. Now you may have noticed that once we have saved that, there was a word more that appeared on the black bar below. That is how we will get into seeing the transaction journal. So go ahead and click on more, and then we're going to select transaction journal. And it is pulling. Here we go. If you get any pop-ups, just go ahead and click out of them. QBO is changing their view from classic view to modern in all of their reports. It's a slow process, and so that pop-up is just telling you that this is the modern view that it's changing to. Let's switch to classic view so that we can see all of the information kind of on one screen a little bit easier. But just know that viewing the report in modern or classic view, it shows the exact same information. It's just your preference. So we're switching to the classic view so that we can see all of the information without having to adjust the columns. Now my screen is shortened, so I have to still scroll over a little bit. But if your screen is completely covering, if the sample company is opened completely on your screen, you should be able to see it all without scrolling. Now, this is the transaction journal for the invoice. You are able to pull up the transaction journal in the same manner for both income and expense transactions. You would use that exact same process, clicking on more and then clicking on transaction journal. Now you'll notice that the accounts receivable or AR is on the debit side. That is right here. You can see that. And this is the money that is coming into the business. So the debits are increasing right here. And the SOT and installation balance it out on the credit side. Now, if something ever seems off with any of your transactions, clicking into this transaction journal can be helpful, a helpful clarifying tool to help solve and fix whatever the issue is. So this is just like a nice little way to get a little. It's seeing kind of like what the journal entry for this particular transaction, this invoice is for. Again, this is called the transaction journal. It's just very specific to that transaction. So it's always a good way to just see what's going on with it and making sure that everything's balanced in case, especially if there is any kind of problem. But that is how you would view that transaction journal report. If you like this exercise and you want to do more like it, or you want more information about that basic level ProAdvisor certification course, be sure to click on the link below in the description, and I will see you in the next exercise.